I said it quietly. My wife, Lauren, laughed. Then she posted a picture from the beach. She had no idea that, before she came home, I would make one phone call. And when she finally pulled into our driveway, her boss was waiting on the front steps. His face was completely white. He looked at Lauren and whispered. He called in the note, "Lauren, what catastrophe did you just bring on us? My name is Ethan Brooks." And that weekend started with a marriage I thought was worth saving. It ended with a secret that could destroy an entire company. Lauren and I had been married for 9 years. We lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, in a quiet neighborhood filled with tall oak trees, pickup trucks, and neighbors who waved whenever they saw you. We met when we were 26. Back then, Lauren was working 2 jobs while finishing her MBA. I was repairing commercial buildings for a construction company. We weren't rich. We weren't glamorous. But we were happy, at least, I thought we were. Then Lauren became a senior executive at a pharmaceutical logistics company called Meridian Health Solutions. Her career exploded. Suddenly there were conferences, business dinners, private flights, and one particular coworker named Victor Hale, her boss. At first, I didn't care. Then I noticed Lauren changing. She started guarding her phone. She stopped telling me where she was going. And whenever Victor's name appeared on her screen, she'd turn the phone face down. One Friday evening, Lauren walked into our kitchen with a suitcase. "I'm going to Charleston this weekend." I looked up from my coffee. "For work?" She hesitated. "With Victor and some people from the office." "Charleston? It's a beach weekend, we're networking." I stared at her. "Lauren, you told me this was supposed to be our anniversary weekend." She rolled her eyes. "I forgot. I'm sorry." I felt something inside me crack. "You forgot our anniversary?" She grabbed her sunglasses from the counter. "Don't start being dramatic." I stood. "I'm not asking you to quit your job. I'm asking you to respect our marriage." She laughed. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "You're becoming exhausting, Ethan." I stared at her. "If you go, we're done." She froze. For 1 second, I thought she might stay. Instead, she smiled. "Then I guess we're done." She grabbed her suitcase and walked out. 3 hours later, my phone buzzed. Instagram. Lauren had posted a picture. She was standing on a beach in Charleston. Victor was beside her. His arm was around her shoulder. The caption read, "Finally breathing again." My hands went cold. Hundreds of comments appeared underneath. Friends, coworkers, people laughing, people congratulating them. Then another picture appeared. Lauren was holding a champagne glass. Victor was looking at her like she was the only person on the beach. I didn't comment. I didn't call. I didn't text. I simply stared at the screen. Then I remembered something. 3 weeks earlier, Lauren had asked me a strange question. "Ethan, if something happened to Meridian, would you ever be able to prove what you knew?" At the time, I thought she was talking about a lawsuit. Now I wasn't so sure. I walked into my home office, opened the bottom drawer, and pulled out a sealed envelope. It had been sitting there for 7 years. My father's handwriting was across the front. "Only open if Ethan is forced to choose." My father had died 2 years earlier. Before he died, he told me one thing: "Your wife doesn't know what you're protecting her from." I had never understood, until that night. Inside the envelope was a handwritten note, and a number, one phone number. I stared at it for almost a minute. Then I called. A man answered. "Hello?" I said one sentence. "This is Ethan Brooks. I'm calling in the note." Silence. Then the man's voice changed. "Are you sure?" "Yes." "Then don't contact me again." The call ended. I sat there wondering what I'd just done. I didn't know that my single phone call had triggered something far bigger than my marriage. The next morning, Lauren called. She sounded irritated. "You really meant it?" "What?" "The divorce." I closed my eyes. "You chose the beach over our marriage." She laughed bitterly. "You're unbelievable." Then she hung up. I didn't hear from her for 2 days. Meanwhile, something strange started happening. Victor called me. I didn't answer. Then he texted. "We need to talk." I deleted it. 5 minutes later, another message appeared. "This is not about Lauren." I stopped. Then came the third message. "It's about Meridian." My heart started pounding. Sunday afternoon, Lauren finally came home. Her car turned into the driveway around 4. She stepped out wearing the same white dress from her beach pictures. But she wasn't smiling anymore. Because Victor was standing on our front steps waiting. His face looked like he'd seen a ghost. Lauren stopped. "What are you doing here?" Victor looked past her, straight at me. Then he whispered. "He called in the note, Lauren." She turned toward me. "What note?" Victor swallowed. "The contingency note." Lauren's face went pale. "What did you do?" I stepped outside. "I didn't do anything." Victor shook his head. "No, you did exactly what your father warned us you might do." Lauren stared at him. "My father?" I looked at my wife. "Your father wasn't the man who betrayed you," she whispered. "Then who was?" Victor pulled a folder from his briefcase and handed it to Lauren. Inside were financial records, LIMS contracts, transfer documents, and photographs. Lauren's name appeared on nearly every page. She looked at me. I don't understand. I finally told her the truth. 7 years earlier, my father had discovered that Meridian's founders were secretly moving millions through shell companies. He had been the company's outside auditor. He refused to participate, and they threatened him. He created a contingency file. Then he gave me the instructions. If Meridian ever attempted to transfer ownership illegally, I was supposed to call a specific number. That call would activate an independent federal review. But there was one problem. The person who had been secretly helping the executives wasn't my father. It was someone inside the company, someone Lauren trusted. Victor looked at her. Your CFO has been using your credentials. Lauren's mouth fell open. My credentials? Victor nodded. They've been moving money through accounts in your name. She stared at the documents, then she began shaking. But why would they do that? Victor looked at me. Because if the company collapsed, Lauren would take the blame. Suddenly everything made sense. The strange meetings, the secret emails, the beach trip. Victor hadn't taken Lauren to Charleston for an affair. He had taken her there because the CFO was preparing the final transfer. The pictures had been deliberately leaked. They needed Lauren to look compromised. They wanted everyone to believe she was involved. And my wife had unknowingly walked straight into their trap. Lauren sat on the front steps and began crying. I thought you hated my career. I sat beside her. I hated watching you disappear inside it. She looked at me. Why didn't you tell me about your father's note? Because he made me promise. Why? I looked toward Victor. Because he knew whoever was behind this would be watching. Lauren wiped her tears. And you still came after me. I nodded. Because I loved you. She stared at me. Even after I said we were done, I answered quietly. Especially then. The investigation began the next morning. Within weeks, the CFO was arrested. Millions of dollars were recovered. Lauren was cleared. And Victor resigned after helping investigators expose the scheme. But our marriage wasn't magically repaired. Trust doesn't return because the truth finally appears. It returns one decision at a time. Lauren quit Meridian. She started a consulting firm with 2 former colleagues, and every anniversary after that she made one promise: no work trips. I laughed the first time she said it, but she smiled. No, seriously. Then she handed me her phone. Password's yours. I shook my head. I don't need your password. I know. She reached across the table. I just need you to know you don't have to wonder anymore. 3 years later we still live in Charlotte, we still argue. We still annoy each other, we're still imperfect. But every year, on our anniversary, we return to the little restaurant where we had our first date, and Lauren always orders the same dessert, cheesecake. One night she looked across the table and asked, "Do you ever regret making that phone call?" I smiled. No. She squeezed my hand. Even though it almost destroyed everything, I looked into her eyes. It didn't destroy everything. I paused. It destroyed the lies. And sometimes, that's the only way a marriage gets a second chance. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below.